Hello, TPS family. All right, it's Edie, and I figured it was time to do some workstation training since the new workstation was put into place a couple days ago. This particular training, I'm going to just show you some quick features that might help you guys in your business, and also how to set up a party. All right, so you're on the workstation. You logged in using your ID number and your password, and this is where you get to right away. So your workstation home. Now, some of the things that changed, and they're actually easier, is you've got some large buttons here to go to different areas of the workstation. These changes were made to make it a lot simpler and less cumbersome for the workstation so that not so many resources are being used, so it doesn't act as slow. So it's some really good stuff that happened. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a party. We're going to create an open house. What I always tell everybody is when you at the first of the month, you want to create an open house so that you can put all of your random straggler orders in during the month. And then at the end of the month, you become the hostess of that party and you earn the rewards and the half price items. So you want to have an open house party type. You can call it whatever you want, but I usually call it open house. If there's a sale going on, I'll name it the name of the sale, or I'll say random orders, click here, random orders placed here, whatever you want to name it, and I'll tell you how you do that. All right, so we're gonna go. You can either go to orders here or orders up at the top, and so we're gonna click on the big button here that says orders. And then we're going to click on Scentsy orders on the far left-hand side. Okay, and that's going to put us in the create party phase or the create order phase. The party details, there's three different sections. You have your party details, your guest details, and payment details. So the party details is where it's going to be shipped to, what type of party it is. The guest details is all of the individual orders, and then the payment details are all the individual payments. So that's pretty straightforward. For an open house, we're going to create it as a basket party because it's mainly for, like I said, all of those random orders that you're going to get during the month. So I'm going to call it open house. And actually, I'm going to call it May open house. Order here. Okay? And I'm going to run that through the month of March. So I'm going to select March 1st through March 31st. Here I'm going to say use consultant as host. If you actually had a hostess that you were creating this party for, you would put their information in there. So if I click on use consultant as host, it puts my information. And we're also going to ship it to the consultant, which is me. Okay? So whatever you ship party to is where the half price and rewards are going to be shipped to. Just remember that if somebody places an order online, it automatically gets shipped directly to the customer. Okay? It does not go to the hostess's house or to the consultant's house. It goes directly to the customer, which is why they get charged shipping. If they want their order to go with the rest of the party to the hostess, they need to not place their order online. They need to place it through the consultant or the hostess so that the consultant, which is you, can enter it through the workstation rather than the website. All right, so here's all the information. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. Now it brings us to phase 2, which is the guest details. This is where all of the order information would get entered. Okay, so each person will have their own separate tag. So let me just put in a new guest so you can see what that would look like. And if you have guests in your contact tabs already, it should show up with a list so that you can pick your customer and it will enter their information. So now I'm going to save and return to carts. I know this is quick, you guys, but I don't want to spend too much time. You can always rewind and go back. So now each customer has their own order tab that you would put in their order from their order form. Okay. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and delete this guest because it's not an actual guest. And by doing that, I can go over here to the left-hand side and click on delete guest. It asks me if I am sure that I want to delete, and I say okay, and it will delete the guest. Okay. Now I need to make sure that this particular open house is listed on my website. Okay. Now the way that I would do that is to check my website. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load up my website. And I'm going to click the little arrow at the top of my, I'm sorry, I got the wrong one here. At the top of my website and see if their name, if the open house is listed in my open parties. So here's where it says my open parties. I scroll and it's not in there, okay? This is where they would want to click to shop from a particular party. When they end the order, if they didn't select a party, they'll actually get an opportunity to select one at that point as well. So I'm going to go back to my workstation, and now over here where it says May Open House, order here, edit party info, I actually can go back and make sure that I selected show on PWS, which is personal website. So with that loading, it will bring me back to my party details, which again, the party details are your ship to information and your hostess information. And it's taking a little bit of time to load. Okay, so it popped me back to the party details. And if you'll notice right here, I did not select yes on show on PWS. So I need to select yes and then go down and continue again so that it saves my changes. So now I'm going to go back to my website and I'm going to reload my website to see if it is now listed under my parties. So when I go to my website, if I click on this drop down arrow, it actually brings a little tab down where I can select open parties, and there it is. So if I click on shop, it will actually bring me to the same website, but now it's linked to that party. So that's what you want to tell your hostess that she needs to do. Okay, is to direct her people to her particular link. All right? So that's where it's important for us to make sure that under the information for the party details that we actually select yes on show on PWS. Okay? So what's going to happen is all of the people that make online orders through this party, it's going to get added to the information on the left-hand side here for online orders, and this host base will continue to accumulate based on the orders that are put into that party. Then at the end of the month, you'll see where you've earned some half price and some hostess credit that you can actually apply and purchase things for yourself and for your business. A lot of times I use these products at the end of the month for thank yous, gifts, auctions, random things, prizes, and that sort of thing. So that way I'm never paying full price for my product, and I think it works out pretty good. So I always instruct my guests to order through a party. It doesn't matter what party. If there's a party listed under open parties on my website, I always educate my guests to go ahead and pick a party. Okay? If they don't know who to pick from, a lot of times they will just go ahead and pick from the open house. All right? So that's how to create a party. Now, I'm not going to be able to go to the next screen, which you would hit by going to continue. But what happens is, actually, I'm going to go ahead and put in a bogus order just so that I can show you what that screen looks like. So I'm going to put in some information, and I didn't want to do that, but we're going to do it anyway. All right, so I went ahead and put in all of the information for each of the brands within that package. I'm going to hit Save Multi-Pack, and I'm going to go back to the regular order. Okay, so as you know, a qualifying party has to have 150 PRV, which is where you will find it under host base. So if the host base says 150, that's a qualifying party. So now you're going to notice that it also added in my half price item that I get, my perpetual party reward, and my host credit. Okay? So the perpetual party reward is a thank you to the hostess if they've booked a party from a previous party. And I can explain that more at another time. But let's go all the way down to the bottom. The party is completed. We're going to hit continue. It's going to give me an error because I did not use all of my Hostess rewards as of yet. You want to make sure that you use them, because if you don't, you lose them. I'm going to say okay. And now it's going to show you the payment screen. Okay. So what you need to remember is, for every credit card that you enter with information, you need to make sure that you say add to payments. This balance right here needs to be 0 before you can hit process payments. So regardless if you have 1 credit card or 10 credit cards, each one needs to be added to payment. So add to payments, and then once the balance due is 0, then you can hit process payments, and it'll actually process the credit cards. And then your order is done. So that's pretty easy. I'm going to go back to the home page, and I want to show you how you can go back into an order now. So I'm going to go back to orders, but this time I'm going to hit pending orders. Pending orders means these are orders that are open and can be edited or added to, or whatever needs to happen. So if I want to go in here and add an order to my May open house, I can just click on edit, and it'll take me into that order. Again, it'll start me with the with the party details, and then it'll bring me to the excuse me, the guest details, and then the payment details. Okay, so once it's loaded, it brings you into the party details. If all of this is correct, you can just scroll down to the bottom and hit continue, and it will bring you back into the guest details, where you can add or change any information. Now, if you want to delete something, all you have to do is click on the X to the left of the product, and it will actually delete it. Now, I ordered 4 of these, which is why you're not seeing, it doesn't look like it's deleting, but it actually is. And there's the 4th one. Okay. So that's how you would go in and add more orders to your existing open house or to your existing party. All right. So I'm going to go back home. Now let's say that you want to actually delete a party that you created by mistake. You would click on orders, hit pending orders, and then to the left of the particular order, you can click on delete. To the right, your other left. Hit delete, hit continue up here, and it will delete it from your list. Okay? If there happens to be any orders in that party that you're deleting, the orders will not be deleted if they were placed online, but if you placed them in the workstation, then they would get deleted with that party as well. All right, so hopefully you found that helpful. Like I mentioned, I think that you all should create an open house every month so that you can be the hostess for your own party every month. If you have parties that you're booking, whether it's basket parties, fundraisers, home parties, Facebook parties, whatever, you're going to follow the same process. I always say show on PWS because I think it's important to give people an option to enter an order into that party. It could be a pleasant surprise for that hostess. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. And you all have an amazing day. Bye.